What is H-1B? What is the chatter around H-1B? Do we need to really know first what it is and then decide whether it has merit or not? Or what one side is saying is correct versus what other side is saying is not correct? Follow me to learn more about this. Let me tell you in simple terms what is H-1B. It is nothing but a permission to work in the US. Who grants that permission? United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. On what basis is this permission granted? Just like any other visa, wherein you specify the purpose of coming to the US. In case of tourist visa, the purpose is tourism. Visitor visa, the purpose is to visit a family member or a known acquaintance. In case of F1 visa, the purpose is to study. But how do you get the visa to study here? Just by saying you get study? No. When you say, when you prove that you get admission at a university. Similarly, you get H-1B when you provide a proof that you have an offer of employment by an American employer. That's when you get H-1B. So that's the concept. Now let's come to the chatter around it. Do US companies need H-1B? It's really up to a company. If the company wants workers, it has the options to hire locals, or it has the options to hire people from outside US or within US who are already on H-1B visas. Well, I would say the following. It's not a very straightforward answer. I'll give you the scenarios, and that should give you a reason to believe that by and large, this program needs reform. To anyone who say it doesn't need reform, please, that is not true. It needs reform. So here is the scenario. Suppose I am the visa holder. I work for company A. Company A counts company B as the client. Company B counts company C as the client. And company C counts company D as the client, and D is the end client. D is going to make hourly wage payment to C. C will make to B after taking some cut. B will make to A after taking some cut. And A will give some amount in my hand after taking their cut. Now, by cut, I mean this: the employer will account for all the costs because they want to also make profit. But because there were multiple layers of companies between me and the end client, it resulted in less amount coming in my hand. So now the question is, if the end client, which is company D, hired someone full time versus a contractor. Sure, in case of getting a contractor, they have benefits. What are the benefits they have? Well, I mean, not benefits to the contractor, the benefit for the company. They don't have to worry about insurance. They don't have to worry about paid time off. They don't have to worry about giving severance if the services are ended. And they don't have to really worry about the career progression in terms of what should be the raise given every year or what should be the reward and recognition. They don't have to worry about any of this because the contractor doesn't work on the payroll of the client. Now let's come to the company on whose payroll I'm working, company A. Sure, that company might have to give me insurance, paid leave of absence, 401k, employee stock options, so on and so forth. Many benefits. Now, the question comes, are they going to give me a salary regardless of what my hourly rate is? No, that's not how business happens. If my hourly rate is, say, $50, they can't give me a salary of 180K. I'm just giving an example. But the question is, what is this $50? Is this $50 given by the client D? Or is this the $50 that I am getting in hand after the intermediaries take the cut? That is the key point. So when these intermediaries are there in between and they take a cut, that's when I get less in my hand. This is true for a lot of visa holders in this country. I don't know if those visa holders can be directly blamed, but they really came here to fulfill their dream. I understand they are so dependent on their employer that they are scared to take any action. Now, it is true that on an H-1B you can change employer, absolutely correct. But at the same time, you have to understand that not always the market is favorable. Currently, we are hearing the tech has done a lot of layoffs. And think about it, if the same tech is now going to hire foreign workers, or if the same tech is going to sponsor foreign workers for green card, and when they sponsor somebody for green card, they have to advertise the position and show that they could not find qualified American workers. Think about it, they are laying off American workers on one hand, and then they are hiring foreign workers on the other hand and sponsoring them for permanent residency. Clearly, it's a difficult situation to be in. Many big consulting companies would say, we don't want to hire a lot of H-1Bs. We want to reduce the number of H-1B hiring because we do not want people to really throw the limelight at us. We don't want the government to notice us. So we will reduce the filings, but, but, we will rather go the contracting route. We will source the employees from some other company, which means subcontracting. It becomes subcontracting. So I think this is a scenario wherein the theory of local workers getting displaced and the wages being undercut is definitely sounding merit in it. Big tech companies in Silicon Valley, usually they pay well. Now, obviously, you can say if they're paying well means 130K, is that paying well? But what about 180? Why not 180? So you can always have that discussion. The prevailing wage in the particular area is something they have to adhere to. I think every employer does adhere to that prevailing wage. But this scenario where there are intermediaries between the visa holder and the client, that is where I think there is a problem. This is the kind of abuse of the system which is bringing bad name to the H-1B program. And I think that abuse needs to be addressed. I am hopeful that the incoming administration will take steps, do whatever it can. I will try to post another video to suggest what actions should be taken, but something needs to be done. If these scenarios are not addressed, unfortunately, bad name for H-1B will continue, and I really don't want that. There needs to be legislation which can be sustainable in nature to remove annual per country caps for employment based green card. I think minimum salary on H-1B must be increased. And I think this whole subcontracting where people are working remotely, I think something needs to be done wherein DHS rather ICE, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, can conduct site visits and conduct verification. I think immigration needs reform, but we shall wait and see what what the future administration does, along with the legislative chamber of the government. I hope something can be done. I want to be optimistic. Let's hope that something is really done. If you like this video, please subscribe. I will be talking about this and about my journey a lot more in the coming videos. Thank you.